Hi everyone, I'm Mike Reddington and I'm the Chief Executive of the BSIA, and it's my pleasure to be participating in the Security 2020 webinar. During this presentation, I plan to share with you the BSIA's perspective of the impact of coronavirus on the professional security industry and what happens next. I would like to start with providing you with a little more information about who the BSIA are. The BSIA are a not-for-profit trade association that was established 53 years ago to represent those operating in the professional security industry. We are recognised as the voice of the professional security industry by government, police and other key industry stakeholders, and our sections cover multiple areas across the industry, from manpower to electronic to physical security. We also provide support and encourage industry excellence. We raise awareness of the key industry topics and issues like all IP telephony migration, which is going live in 2022 in some areas, electronic call handling operation, which is scheduled to go live in August, September of this year, and cybersecurity and many more. We share best practice across our members and work together to create codes of practice that are then used as the basis for standards in our industry. If we look to the current landscape, the key topic everyone is focusing on is the implication of the coronavirus pandemic, and everyone across the world has been affected by this. It has impacted the way we work and live for everyone. Today, more than 30% of the UK workforce, that's over 10 million people, is now being paid for by the government through the furlough scheme. We've seen a rise in unemployment, with 2.1 million people now unemployed. While this is concerning, this could create an opportunity to get those individuals involved in a career in security. Please look out for more information on this from the BSIA. Work has been forced into the digital sphere overnight, and we've seen a huge increase in the adoption and usage of technology, with people moving to home working, using conference calls, webinars, etc. Finance analysts and the government are forecasting a recession with varying views of the potential severity and length of this recession. Also, health and safety of our employees and the general public remains a top priority as we manage our way through this pandemic. One of the key successes for our industry sector was obtaining key worker status for those operating in the security industry. This included security guards, ARC operators, and others who provide service and support to critical service providers. This classification and clarification was achieved through the BSIA directly lobbying government with the support of the SIA, NSI and SSIB. The BSIA has also provided dedicated information and support for both members and the wider industry around COVID-19. I am very pleased to say that the SIA and other government partnerships with the DIT, DSO and Home Office has never been better than they are today. If we now take a look at some of the activities our frontline security operators have been involved in, we've seen many supermarket operators are now employing security guards to manage access into stores. We also have security personnel providing support to army personnel at COVID test centres. Security personnel are also controlling access and dealing with behavioural issues at the emergency homeless residents that have been created. A number of our members have been involved in the creation of the Nightingale hospitals in London, Excel, Birmingham, Glasgow and Harrogate. We've also seen many security companies providing cover when in-house staff are off ill or in self-quarantine. We're seeing the increased use of technology, as referenced earlier, such as thermal camera solutions, early detection of people with high temperatures, contactless entry and exit of buildings, and the flow and volume of people within stores and supermarkets. We are now actually going through the first steps of returning to work as we see easing of lockdown and the government encouraging people who can't work from home to return to work. The continued easing of lockdown will be dependent upon the COVID alert levels, effectively the R rates. There are still so many unknowns about this virus, and people are rightfully cautious. We're seeing some businesses partially reopening. One of the things I would suggest is to just stop and consider, if remote working is enabling your business to operate today, do you need to change this right now? Whilst everyone is adapting to remote working, it can limit some development in businesses. It limits the joint creative idea creation when people are working together in an office environment. It also limits the ability to develop junior members of the team with the inability to being able to learn from peer group observation in the workplace. Remember, organisation and preparation is key. It is the employer responsibility to ensure it has a safe working environment for their employees and visitors. For employers, they need to undertake individual building risk assessments. They must have a clear HS&E policy and procedures. We also need to consider, can most employees avoid using public transport? In addition, everyone needs to be prepared for changes in their working environment. It is not going to be the same as pre-COVID-19. The mental health and well-being of our employees is critical, and some employees deal with change better than others. We need to be able to provide the appropriate support to employees who are finding it challenging to adapt to the new world. Manufacturing and constructions are sectors that are returning to work first. That will be followed by retail and hospitality organisations. However, they have been severely impacted. We feel this is potentially will be one of the last areas to start to return to work and may require changes to their business model. Whilst we have seen some positive recognitions for those operating in the professional security industry, more work needs to be done in raising the profile even further. This can be done through using examples of work we have or are doing during COVID-19 crisis. We would also like to hear your thoughts on what more can be done. The BSIA is committed to raising the profile of our industry, and we are taking the lead in driving this initiative through. A few of the actions we have already taken are writing to government representatives highlighting the work already done and what is currently being worked on, working with all organisations in the sector to communicate a common message, working with police authorities and identifying additional areas of support that the professional security industry can offer or provide, increasing the professional security industry profile with the general public. We're also soliciting support from other industry bodies, the Security Institute, the Security Commonwealth, to promote the common positive message and work we are doing. So if we look to the future now, while these are challenging times, there are opportunities for us to recover and grow with the increased acceptance and usage of technology, as previously mentioned. Also, the security industry is a resilient industry. The previous recession in 2009, our industry continued to perform well, and I believe it will do so again. We are seeing an increased adoption of technology with the usage of Microsoft Teams, Zoom, remote diagnostics for intruder alarms, thermal cameras for temperature checking, and also the usage of automatic facial recognition and AI. We do need to continue to invest in our employees, because as we develop our employees, they are critical to helping companies come through this crisis. We also need to learn from our experiences. What has worked well, i.e., can some of our workforce continue to work remotely? And also, can we continue to use increased technology to improve our performances. As previously stated, we know these are tough times, but remember, we are operating in a large and established industry, and I truly believe we will come through this stronger and see growth in our sector. So in closing, I would just like to say, if you want to influence the development and direction of the professional security industry, you need to become a member of the BSIA. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Security 2020 team for having me participating in their virtual event. Stay safe and stay healthy, everyone. Thank you.